You make the observation in your book, and you say that you've said it many times when you were president of the United States, that no president is ever going to desert Israel, right?
Correct. I put it more bluntly. I said,
you make the observation in your book, and you say that you've said it many times when you were president of the United States, that no president is ever going to desert Israel, right?
correct. I put it more bluntly. I said, as I told congressional leaders during the 1973 Yom Kippur War, no American president will let Israel go down the tube.
All right.
Democrat or Republican, it's not an issue.
That is stated fairly categorically, and yet in your book,
73 Yom Kippur War, no American president will let Israel go down the tube.
All right.
Democrat or Republican, it's not an issue.
that is stated fairly categorically, and yet in your book you make it clear at the same time that Israel really is not of any enormous strategic value to the United States anymore.
That's correct.
So why then would the United States continue to burden itself with huge loans, in some cases outright grants, to the Israelis, jeopardize possibly young American fighting men, when there is no strategic value involved, or little strategic
Because the United States is concerned by more than strategic values. That's maybe a weakness, but it's the way we are. And there are moral issues involved here. We don't have an alliance with Israel. As you know, they're not an ally of the United States in the technical sense. But we have a bond to Israel that's... There are moral issues involved here. We don't have an alliance with Israel. As you know, they're not an ally of the United States in the technical sense. But we have a bond to Israel that's much stronger. It's a moral commitment. A moral commitment because of what happened during the Holocaust, and a moral commitment because it is a democracy, the only democracy in that area. And under the circumstances, that is why American presidents and the American people, and a moral commitment because it is a democracy, the only democracy in that area. And under the circumstances, that is why American presidents and the American people in the future will support all out the survival of Israel if it's attacked.
You've always been
area. And under the circumstances, that is why American presidents and the American people in the future will support all out the survival of Israel if it's attacked.
You've always been a very tough, pragmatic man. And I just wonder if you were the president of Israel and you heard Richard Nixon talking that way, or for that matter, heard any sitting American president talk that way, and say, but there's really no strategic value anymore, how much faith would you place in that kind of a moral commitment if push really came to shove?
If I were the president of Israel, I'd put a great deal of faith in it because of the track record of the United States, and also because he would know that that is the way the American people are. There is no doubt whatever of our commitment to Israel. Track record of the United States, and also because he would know that that is the way the American people are. There is no doubt whatever of our commitment to Israel.
I would be a Zionist. And my father pointed out to me, I did not need to. Were I a Jew, I would be a Zionist. And my father pointed out to me, I did not need to be a Jew to be a Zionist. For I am. Israel is essential to the security of Jews worldwide.
And many Israelis don't want to know what Americans don't want to know. And many Israelis don't want to know what is going on inside Palestine. It's a terrible human rights persecution that far transcends what any outsider would imagine. And there are powerful political forces in America that prevents any objective analysis of the problem in the Holy Land. I think it's accurate to say that not a single member of Congress with whom I'm familiar would possibly speak out and call for Israel to withdraw to their legal boundaries, or to publicize, with whom I'm familiar, would possibly speak out and call for Israel to withdraw to their legal boundaries, or to publicize the plight of the Palestinians, And that is headed on to by the very effective work of the American-Israeli group called AIPAC, which is performing its completely legitimate task of convincing Americans to support the policies of the Israeli government. And AIPAC is not dedicated to peace. They're dedicated to inducing the maximum support. And AIPAC is not dedicated to peace. They're dedicated to inducing the maximum support in America, in the White House, in the Congress, and in the public media.
It is the best $3 billion investment we make. If we look at the Middle East, I think it's about time we stop those of us who support. It is the best $3 billion investment we make. If we look at the Middle East, I think it's about time we stop those of us who support, as most of us do, Israel in this body, for apologizing for our support for Israel. There's no apology to be made. None. Those of us who support, as most of us do, Israel in this body, for apologizing for our support for Israel. There's no apology to be made. None. It is the best $3 billion investment we make. Whether or not in Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest in the $3 billion investment we make. Whether or not in Israel, the United States of America would have to invent an Israel to protect her interest in the region. The United States would have to go out and invent an Israel.
No more excuses. No more excuses. I am the least anti-Semitic person that you've ever seen in your entire life.
I have so many Jewish friends that are supporting Obama, and I'm saying, are you crazy? There's never been anybody worse to Israel than Obama.
You're not going to support me because I don't want your money. Isn't it crazy? No, it's true. Maybe you could explain that.
Are you crazy? There's never been anybody worse to Israel than Obama.
You're not going to support me because I don't want your money. Isn't it crazy? No, it's true. Maybe you could explain that to some of your people that say, oh, we don't like tariffs. And I think any Jewish people that vote for a Democrat, I think it shows either a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty. In my opinion, you vote for a Democrat, you're being very... A Democrat, I think it shows either a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty. In my opinion, you vote for a Democrat, you're being very disloyal to Jewish people, and you're being very disloyal to Israel. Yeah.
Isn't that anti-Semitic?
No. It's only in your head. It's only anti-Semitic in your head.
I can't believe, because I could always spot it. Yeah.
Right.
I'm going, this guy's in country clubs. He's fooling everybody.
Well,
He just slipped right under the radar.
And then we did some research. We found out you're about the furthest thing from a Jew.
Well, I'm actually, I'm in a very Jewish business, okay?
Right.
I like to have fun on the course, and that means sort of razzing the partner a little bit.
Research. We found out you're about the furthest thing from a Jew.
Well, I'm actually, I'm in a very Jewish business, okay?
Right.
I like to have fun on the course, and that means sort of razzing the partner a little bit. Enjoy it. You got someplace here, I'll tell you. Even these spoiled, rich Jewish guys, they can't believe how good this is, you know? Partner a little bit. Enjoy it. You got someplace here, I'll tell you. Even these spoiled, rich Jewish guys, they can't believe how good this is, you know? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That's good. You don't miss those little 3.5 footers.
Shalom, Yasharala, all praises and glory goes to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations unto the legmen feeding the sheep of Yahweh Hashem, Yahushai, and sincerity and truth through this great gospel, man, coming out of our Bible. And yeah, we live in a society, there's some call it identity theft, and you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are a victim of identity theft, right? Somebody done took over your country. Somebody done took over your nationality. Somebody claiming to be you in your land, and they're not you. And the people of the earth really believe that these people claiming to be the people of the Lord are the people of the Lord when they're not. When they're not, right? We're talking about who? Amalek. We're talking about Amalek, right? Amalek, the man with all the money, with all the riches, the man who controls this society, right? That's why all these presidents, they got to go over to the land of Israel and put their hands on that wall and bow down to these people. Where else do they got to go to? They got to go to the Pope. They got to go see the Pope. They got to go to Israel, right? All these different places that show you that America is just a big ass puppet. America is just a big ass puppet playing its part in this man's system, right? I'm gonna read. Matter of fact, before we get to that, who is this man, right? Let's get into this. Let's go to the book of Numbers 24 and 20. It says, and when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be what? Shall be he perish forever. Shall be he perish forever. That's the future of what? These small hats, right? Who control the society, right? They really should have been wiped off the face of the earth a long time ago if Saul had followed the order that the Lord gave him. Matter of fact, let's go to that account. We're going to go to 1 Samuel. Let's read 15 and 2. It says, thus saith the Lord power of hosts. I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt, right? Amalek, the Edomites, right? Always been against us. Where did Edom say, I will slay my brethren when my father dies, right? And the Lord said he had a perpetual hatred for us, right? Read again. Thus saith the Lord hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. It says, now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have and spare them not, but slay both man and women, infants, suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass, right? You know this. That's why these people want to ban the Bible. They're like, what kind of God is this? The Lord wants you to go on a land and slay, right? How the fuck you think we got the land of Israel? We had to go on that motherfucking lay them Canaanites down, right? King David, man, who the Lord said, this man is of my heart, is after my heart. This man has so much blood on his hand, right? From laying motherfuckers down, right? That's the spirit. When Yahweh Shai return, what you think he's gonna do? He's gonna be laying motherfuckers down. What you think his servants gonna be doing? Laying people down. It says, now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and women, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen, and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to the city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Canaanites, depart, go you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Canaanites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah unto thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt, right? He was doing a lot of murking, but not enough, right? It says in verse 8, it says, and he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not only destroy them, but everything that was vile, and refuse that they destroyed utterly. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, it repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me, and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto Yahweh all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord. I have performed the commandments of the Lord Yahweh. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears, right? In the lowing of the oxen which I hear. And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord thy power, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. That ain't what the Lord told you to do, Saul. The Lord told you to go knock everything off the shelf, right? Man, women, animal. Right? Then Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, and I will tell thee what Yahweh have said to me in this night. Which Yahweh said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight. I'm read it again. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight, was thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And Yahweh anointed thee king of Israel? And Yahweh sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners of the Amalekites. Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites. Right? Who are the sinners? The Amalekites. And fight against them until they be consumed. Right? And who's the Amalekites today? The small hats. Right? The small hats. And the Lord sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites. Fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Yahweh, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of Yahweh? And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which Yahweh sent me, and have brought Agag, king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoiled sheep and oxen the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy power in Gilgal. And Samuel said, Have the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings, sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Lord? What's more important? It's better to obey than to sacrifice, right? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams, right? Because your sacrifice is a waste. That ain't what the Lord told you to do, right? That's why the Lord gave us orders. There was another prophet, the Lord told him, don't eat nothing, don't drink nothing, and he fell victim to some dude telling him, man, go ahead, man, you could eat, you could drink, right? The Lord put his ass to death. It says here, I'm reading verse 22 again, and Samuel said, Have the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifice, as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. What did he do? He rebelled for not following what the Lord told him to do. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as the iniquity in idolatry. It says, Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord Yahweh, he have also rejected thee from being what? King, from being king. Right? And here we are in the end of days. Who's over us? The same people Saul was supposed to destroy. Right? The same people Saul was supposed to put a full end of. But also the Lord, it's all part of what the Lord's plan. These people were supposed to stay alive, right? It says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? These people got to be the end of the world, right? These people got the doctrine of Satan under that Cabal spirit, right? They ain't moving according to the scriptures, right? First off, the Lord didn't look like a so-called white man. And the people of the Lord don't look like so-called white people, right? Even though our people are mingled amongst these people. But most of our people look like Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The scattered seed, right? These people are who? The seed of Amalek, the seed of Edom, right? And what we're at the time of what their end. We're at the time of their end. And where they're also being identified, where people of the earth are recognizing who they are, right? They just put a fucking, they just put a Netanyahu talking about he can't go to certain countries, right? They put a warrant out for his arrest. That's a sign of these people losing power, man. This Zechariah 9:6, it says, And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, right? Who's in the land of Israel right now? A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. right? And we're seeing those so-called Philistines. They're really the Palestinians. That's really the word for Philistines. And the Lord is cutting those people off, right? Right? They know, man, only people going to return back in the land is the people who belong in that land, and that's who the children of Israel, right? The Lord is preparing everything for what? That World War III. It's going to be a mass motherfucking destruction in the land of Israel, right? The scriptures talk about it in Ezekiel. In Ezekiel, I'm going to read Ezekiel 36:5. It says, therefore, thus saith Lord power. Surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with joy of all their hearts, which have despiteful minds to cast it out. Right? They done took over the land, and they thinking they gonna be in that land forever. Right? They thinking they gonna be ruling over all nations on the earth, right? Because they got the power, they got the money, right? They got the power, they got the money, and they got the American people. That's their military. That's the military, right? Ezekiel 36, let's go to 8. I'm sorry, let's start at 3. It says, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because thou hast made you, I'm reading again, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that they might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, that ye might be a residue, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathens, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are in infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Hear the word of the Lord power. Thus saith the Lord power, to the mountains, and to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, and to the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. That's what we became, a prey to the heathen that are round about. Therefore saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. Right? You got Idumea in our land, you got Hamites in our land, Arabs in our land, right? All type of heathens in our fucking land, right? Which have appointed my land into their possession with joy of all their hearts, with despiteful minds to cast it out for prey, right? Because once they got in that land, they started thinking that they're the holy people, that the Lord is dealing with them. The Lord ain't dealing with no other nation. The Lord already told you in the Bible, ye only have I known of all the nations of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. And who was the main people being punished? It was us. These other nations are doing good still. Even though it's looking bad for them, they could go to other countries and still be okay. But as long as you're Israelite, you're going to be under that curse. Read verse 6, it says, prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I have spoken in the jealousy and the fury of, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up mine hand, surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. Right, they shall bear their shame, especially Amalek. Especially Esau, Edom. The Lord gonna judge the shit out of these motherfucking heathens.